The relationships that we have now are very different to the ones that our parents have or had. Over time, we have changed as a generation, and this has led to us having very different values and different morals as well. It isn't a bad thing or even a good thing, it's just different. And now we have different couple goals than our parents did. Perhaps they solely focused on marriage and having children. And of course, some of us still want this, but we also want someone who will support our passions and our goals. Girls want guys that they believe they can achieve these new couple goals with. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you these couple goals so that when you find a girl to be in a relationship with, you can wow her by already knowing exactly what she expects. Like and subscribe. Let's go. To always put each other first. I once heard somebody say that they always put their partner in front of their children, and they received a huge amount of backlash from people around them who were assuming that they didn't care about their children. They replied saying that of course they still cared about their children, but that if they didn't put each other first, they would not have a very healthy relationship, which would have a knock-on effect to the children. And you know what? It made me think that often when couples have children or get married, they are expected to care more about those other things than each other. Really though, let's be honest, they should value each other more because they are the foundation of what's to come and everything else that can grow from it. So even if you are not at this stage yet, don't worry. It's important to remember to always put each other first. Girls simply want a guy that will be there for them in their moment of need. Someone who will always stand by them and that they can rely on. And if you can show her that you can be like this, then well, she's going to do the same for you and she will be yours forever. Treat together time with as much importance as alone time. This is something that our parents probably never would have considered a couple goal. As we have evolved, we have come to recognize how important mental health is. It's something that our parents didn't really talk about much. And in every relationship, it is important to spend time together, otherwise what would be the point, right? You both need quality time together so that you can grow as a couple, plus you both enjoy being around each other. Maybe you live together or you are dating. Either way, if you are spending time together, this is important. You should always make sure that you set time aside to spend with each other, as this should be an important priority. And alone time is very important too. And when we get into a relationship, we often forget about alone time. At the beginning, all a couple wants to do is be together, stuck together like glue, and do everything together. And this is a really lovely stage. If it develops into a relationship though, there needs to be a balance between the both. Because if you continue to spend all your time together, eventually one person will feel trapped and will break up with the other, and it will only end in heartbreak. This is because as humans, we do need time alone. It's healthy. It's so we have that time to figure out who we are and do the things that we love. When you are in a relationship, it's important to talk about this and to make it clear that this is something you both need. Even if it's just that you are at the other end of the house and she's doing something else and you're doing something else in another room, that's okay. That's alone time. If you do this in your relationship, I can guarantee you that it will last longer and be stronger, which is the ultimate couple goal. Know and understand each other's love languages. Have you heard about love languages? Well, there are special languages that reflect how we show love to others and how we receive love. Now there's 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of love, and receiving gifts. And we can have a crossover of love languages, but normally we just have a predominant one. And you might be thinking, well, why does this even matter? Well, it's actually incredibly important. For example, if your language was buying gifts, but your partner's was words of affirmation, you might run into some trouble because you're both going to feel slightly unloved. You might be buying her gifts to say I love you and wondering why she's not doing the same. It's because in her mind, the gifts are nice, but not as much of a big deal in comparison to words. So what matters to her is that you offer her some kind words. When you know and understand your partner's love language, They can show you love in the way that you like, and it truly makes you feel loved. And this is going to result in you both being madly and deeply in love, which is a couple goal. And also, we have the link to the 5 Love Languages book down in the description bar below. Go check that out. Always do new things together. Doing the same thing over and over and over again can get very boring. It's important that you don't get into the habit of just doing the same thing, because in the end, one of you will want something more. Both of you need to make sure that you are always doing new things together, but also separately. For example, together you could go for a nature walk that neither of you have ever been on, or even travel to a country that is new to the both of you. Separately, you could be trying to achieve things that you have not done before, like a promotion, at work, running a marathon, growing some cactus plants. Either way, when you both keep going towards new things, you'll be doing it happily together. Be each other's biggest supporters. Sometimes, having a girlfriend or boyfriend can feel like you have your own cheerleader following you around. It feels amazing. At least this is how it should be. You should both be supporting each other's every move. If you don't agree with something that your partner wants to do, then you should of course explain this to them, but you should try not to stop them. If they decide to go ahead with it, then you should support them and back them 100%. This really is a couple goal and something that girls do search for in a guy that they are with. So if you can support her early on, it might just move that relationship along. Don't stop the physical contact. As humans, we need to be physically close to our partners. Even if it's not one of our love languages, it's very important to any relationship, unless you both agree that it's not. After a few years, this part of the relationship can slip, and it can be harder for couples to stay happy. They might start to look for someone else who could offer this physical closeness. Now, the best way to keep your relationship happy and to keep your partner close is to never let this die. Make sure that you make this a top priority in your relationship so that you can both feel loved and stay close. Try and speak positively around each other. Everyone has a bad day, it's perfectly normal. And these bad days can make us feel negative and very sad. Sometimes we do end up taking it out on our partners, and at the beginning, our partners can normally tolerate this, but after a while, if this is consistent, it kind of feels like a chore to look after them. Your partners can start resenting you if you always have a reason to be negative. You should tell them when you are feeling down or when something bad has happened, but try to not dwell on it, shake it off. When you are around each other, try to speak in a positive way and try not to argue, but instead communicate your feelings to each other in a healthy way. And this will keep your relationship going, and it will make you both incredibly happy. Discuss your relationship often. Think back to your past relationships. How often did you actually talk about your relationship with each other? Probably not often. It's important that you both sit down regularly and discuss your goals for the future. See where your relationship is going and how you are both feeling. This is the most mature thing that you can do in a relationship. It should be a safe place for you to both talk about. You can bring up any issues that maybe you had months ago or something that you feel you need to talk about now so that it doesn't develop into a relationship ending situation. Create a partnership, not a competition. Work together, not against each other. Lift each other up and don't put each other down. Basically, create a partnership so that you can both work together to move forwards and to enjoy life with each other instead of apart. There you go, we've reached the end of the video. I really hope this video helped. Leave your comments down below if you feel I've missed something from today's video. And one more thing, if you want to get your name rolling up like these people's names just here, then all you have to do is click the link in the description bar to find out a little bit more. Have an amazing day, like and subscribe. See you soon.